U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry says the Obama administration is committed to increasing the number of refugees America can take and is looking hard at the number the country could manage. He commented after meeting with lawmakers on Wednesday to discuss the proposed refugee plan for the next fiscal year and the burgeoning refugee crisis in Europe and Syria. VOA's Pam Dockins has the story.
As Syrians and other refugees pour into Europe, the U.S. is considering how to step up its response to the growing humanitarian crisis. Everyone understands a sense of urgency and importance, says State Department spokesman John Kerry.
It's impossible to look at the images, all of them, whether they're still photos or video, and not be moved by what's going on right now.
The State Department says Secretary Kerry has proposed increasing the number of refugees that can be admitted to the U.S. above the current ceiling of 70,000. The U.S. response has not remotely kept pace with the refugee crisis in Europe and the Middle East, says Kathleen Newland, who spoke via Skype.
So if we were to up our number to, say, 100,000 a year altogether, we could easily accommodate 35 or 40,000 Syrians.
The United Nations wants the U.S. and other Western nations to take in 130,000 Syrians by the end of next year. The U.S. has already contributed a total of over $4 billion in humanitarian aid to help Syrians affected by the country's civil war and committed to raising the number of Syrians settled in the U.S. to 1,800 by the end of the month. But it is the Obama administration's foot-dragging in Syria's civil unrest that has helped spark the refugee crisis, claimed Senator John McCain.
This crisis didn't come out of nowhere, like an earthquake or a tornado. Instead, it's the predictable result of this administration's policies of leading from behind.
Another Republican and presidential candidate says the U.S. should take its fair share of refugees and do more to help Syrians.
If I'm president, it's not about accepting refugees. It's about destroying the reason they leave. It's about sending them back to Syria with hope.
The U.S. is considering a range of ways to help refugees. The State Department says a primary goal is to create a climate that will allow the Syrian refugees to return home. Pam Dockins, VOA News, the State Department.